At the beginning of the movie, we see a company whose job was to extract a lot of oil from inside the earth. One day, everyone is busy with their work and starts digging in the ground according to their work. He was living there when he found some traces of life in a deep well. Looking at it, it seemed that maybe there was another life in it, that someone spent his life here. All the scientists are surprised to see this, but they're not. The leader of all says that the operation should not be stopped and that they should dig deeper inside to find out if they are here after all. Now, due to some fault in their system, the water pressure increases rapidly and their entire lives are destroyed. The whole system bursts when 3 strange creatures come out of the well. The company owner becomes very worried that if this news spreads worldwide, our company will be closed forever. Can also be done, and our case can also be filed against why we went to dig at this place and where these creatures came from. Then the scientist tells the owner of the company that if we find out what that creature eats, then they should help us find it. It will be easy, after which Honor tells the scientist that we have to do this work without telling anyone so that no one knows. In the next scene, we are shown a boy named Tripp in a bus, and he is currently in high school. Studies. While Tripp was living with his parents, he also worked in a junkyard where old cars and trucks were brought. After a few days, a truck was brought there. When Tripp asks, the boss of the junkyard tells him that this car has been brought from an excavation site where there was a big incident, and his boss also tells him that this truck is now yours because only you can do anything with it. Now it is night and Tripp is in his warehouse with his old car. Starts imagining while sitting in the truck, after which he listens to a news report about an impending explosion. After that, Tripp sees that there is a huge hole in the car. Then we see Tripp again in the same junkyard. He is tearing down an engine. He is about to start when he hears a sound. That sound is very strange, so he goes to see whose voice it is, but that strange thing starts hiding after seeing him and goes behind the drums. Tripp, pick up one of your tools now. Tripp gets scared and runs away and hides in his basement, but that strange creature comes there too. Tripp somehow manages to get out of there and goes to the basement. He closes it. He was not able to understand what this strange curse was and where it came from. Within no time we see that the police also come there, but when the police open the basement, they find something there. I can't even see the Tripp from them. It is said that it was a very strange creature and looked very strange, and it had emptied all the oil tanks. That strange thing was hiding behind the oil tanks, after which all the oil tanks fell down, but this is what Tripp said. But they don't believe it and leave from there. The next morning, Tripp talks to his classmate Meredith, who has a lot of interest in biology. She tells him that every year 15,000 new spaces are created and discovered, that is, in this world. So there are already a lot of spaces, some of which have been discovered and some are being discovered every year, after which Tripp returns to his junkyard and spills his oil everywhere to check. After some time, a creature comes in front of him which has a lot of long legs, and that creature fills its stomach by drinking the oil. That is, Tripp's suspicions turned out to be absolutely correct. He is shocked to see the creature and tries to talk to the creature. He gives him another oil tank. At that very moment, company workers arrive there and start asking Tripp if anything happened here yesterday, because they have come to know that there is a big creature that can harm you. Meanwhile, that creature hides under Tripp's truck, and that creature was also hiding after seeing these people when suddenly Tripp's classmate Meredith is also there. Tripp tries to console her and tell her about the creature, but Meredith tells him to drop me home because I don't have time. On the other hand, we see that the company's workers hear some strange noise coming from the other side of the truck yard. They go in that direction. Tripp and his friend quickly get into the car when the creature quickly drives away and leaves the junkyard. After which both of them come to Meredith's house. Then Tripp makes some changes in his truck. He creates a place in it where the creature can control it properly, after which Tripp tells his classmates about the creature. Strange Bala is a very art and very intelligent creature. He also tells her that this creature will work as an engine for our truck, after which both of them go for a test drive to see how well this creature works like our engine. Can it work or not? Soon that creature starts driving the truck at a very high speed. That is, they were thinking right. The Tripp gives yellow gasoline to that creature. This gasoline is also like oil, but due to it, an accident occurs. The company's scientist tries to understand what the creature eats. After doing research, she finds out that she lives on the network and feeds on it. Tripp meets her father, and he shows them his living place where they sit and talk about the accident that happened that day. Tripp's father tells him that nothing can be said about the fact that the explosion that happened that day was caused by these creatures. Maybe that explosion happened only because of gas. When Tripp goes out from there, he meets people from the same company. His dad had informed the company that one of those creatures was ours. Home is my son. Tripp is with them. They come to know that the creature is inside the truck, after which when the creature realizes that they are talking about us, then it starts moving the truck in circles and there is a blur, after which Tripp and his classmates get into the truck and the creature drives the truck at full speed and drives away, and the company people are unable to catch him, but the company people do not chase him, are about to leave. Let's chase them, but that creature was very strange. It was driving not on the road but on the walls and over the house, and it was driving by making very big jumps, after which the creature jumps over the train and he escapes, after which they all reach a beach where Meredith's dad has a hunting house where he used to hunt, and they spend the night there. The creature becomes very happy to see the water. She starts taking a bath. The Tripp promises the creature that he will help her reach her home. The company scientist is doing experiments on both the creatures, and he also comes to know that these creatures are very intelligent. Honor tells the scientist, "Our wastewater is going to go to another city, so we will take these creatures along with us and throw them in the same deep water." The scientist tells him that these creatures have emotions. It would not be good to kill, after which we see that Tripp's creature is chasing a truck in which his parents are being taken. Both trucks go to the company. Now Tripp and his classmates also follow them, so it turns out that both the creatures are also here, and soon the company workers also arrive there and the creature is made unconscious. Tripp and his friend are taken to the owner of the company and he says that you guys forget the creatures, after which the company scientist tells Tripp that he too cannot see those creatures dying, and to get them out of there, the fastest moving trucks are needed. Tripp says that I will free them from here. After which Tripp realizes that the truck is present in his junkyard, so he talks to his boss. Now his boss helps him and he gets 2 more trucks. Tripp makes some changes in those trucks and he prepares that truck for the parents of that creature. Here those creatures are loaded in the truck, but the scientist himself drives the truck and reaches the Tripp, after which that creature meets its parents and all 3 creatures go to the truck. They hide in the car and leave from there. The company's truck also follows them and they all reach an open field. The Tripp's group encounters them and comes to the path of a big hill, and the road ahead is very steep. Very bad. When they are about to meet, the company's truck pushes Tripp towards a ditch, causing him to hang from the door of the truck. The Tripp is about to fall when the creature saves his life. After some time, Tripp realizes that there is poison in a truck. The company which is going to fill that poison in those holes, they try to stop that truck, because if they had done so then those creatures would have been killed without any reason and they would have sacrificed their lives for that. Don't know that company's trucks there. However, a fire breaks out on the way, due to which Tripp and the creatures are unable to go further. Meanwhile, Tripp's stepfather arrives there with a huge truck and Tripp and his friends start helping them. It passes through the mountains with water and destroys the poison. That is, the poison that was supposed to be put in those holes was wasted along with the truck, after which they reach the place of the accident and the scientists with the poison. The machine tries to stop that creature's parents as they are moving ahead to go to their home, i.e. their other world. Tripp's truck is being pushed, i.e. Tripp's truck was being pushed towards those holes, after which they fall into the deep. He falls into the ditch and goes into the water, after which he saves the life of the creature Tripp and brings him out of the water and brings him to the ground. The creature and his parents along with the other creatures thank him and go back from there. Later we come to know that the company had been exposed because all the bad deeds of that company had come in front of everyone and what they wanted to do with the creature. The owner of that company is also arrested, whose entire plan was Tripp together with his stepfather. He builds a good truck with himself because he had an interest in this thing from the beginning, after which Tripp builds a very nice truck, and in the last scene, we also see that both Tripp and Meredith have a very deep relationship. friendship also develops, and with this movie has a happy ending.